Well, good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Bill.
Today, well, it's almost fall, or maybe it is fall. It is
yeah.
fall. It's already begun. Fall has already begun.
Done fall.
And so, we've got the summer behind us. There's an old adage: sell in May and go away. and so basically, what they're saying in the stock market is that old adage is that what you want to do is close out your positions and take a summer vacation because nothing's going to happen. You're going to have the dog days of summer.
Right.
Well, the Fed ended all that.
Well, a lot of activity this past week.
Or inactivity.
I'm sorry?
Or inactivity.
Inactivity by the Fed, but a lot of activity on Wall Street.
Exactly.
Because people weren't evidently expecting that the Fed was going to delay the taper. And so when they announced that they were going to delay, that caught people by surprise and caused the market to jump up quite a bit.
Well, and for those of you out there that may not be familiar with what the Fed has been doing in detail, the Fed has been buying $85 billion of securities, primarily mortgage-backed and treasury securities. And the idea is that what they want to do is buy them to keep the yield low because there's an inverse price yield relationship. So lots of demand. In fact, they're buying more than being originated at points in time, in some months. And so they're keeping the demand high and the price, the interest rate low.
And the T-bill, as a result, the T-bill 10-year dropped about 25 basis points. The interest rates on 30-year mortgage dropped almost a half point, and so it's a pretty significant impact in terms of interest rates.
That's one thing that happened. The second thing that happened, and all this in really the last week.
Yeah.
The second thing that happened is there were two noted economists who were, and I emphasize economists just for your benefit, that were vying for chairman of the chair of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve. And Janet Yellen, who has spent time at the San Francisco Fed,
right,
and Larry Summers, who has had various positions in the Treasury and at Harvard University and lots of places. And this week, citing pressure that he probably would not be confirmed, at least it would be difficult.
right.
He withdrew his name. Larry Summers withdrew his name.
And now it looks like there's going to be an appointment coming soon of Janet Yellen. The White House has sort of contacted a number of the key senators and asked them to be prepared to defend Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen was supposed to give a speech at the Economic Club in New York a week from today. No, a week from tomorrow, October 1st, and that was just canceled. The speculation is that her appointment is going to be announced a week from today.
On Monday.
On a Monday. And so therefore there was no reason cited for this speech being canceled. So that's the speculation. So if she is put in, she will pretty much be continuing with Bernanke's direction. So I don't think things will change much.
And that's why the market reacted so. Well, one of the reasons the market reacted so. Who knows why the market actually reacts?
Right. Yeah.
But one of the reasons it reacted that way is Summers was perceived to be in favor of a more restrictive policy, and Janet Yellen in favor of a more expansive policy.
Right.
And certainly, what we have is an expansive policy. We have loose money.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
now has the Fed first? Let's take this in pieces. First. And I'm going to give you three questions. One, has the Fed done enough? Two, whether you say yes or no, continue that and say, what should they do next? And three, when will this buying of these bonds end?
Well, the first question is, they've done enough? No. And so the problem is that the economy is extremely weak. The Congress has been trying to cut back on government expenditures when in a time where we need more government expenditures. And as a result, federal and state government expenditures have gone down substantially over this last several years. So the economy is very weak. It needs to have continued support. And I don't think that cutting back is going to be something that they're going to be up for anytime soon.
Cutting back on the purchases of bond purchases.
Of bonds. One of the Fed governors...
So no tapering anytime soon?
I don't think so. Here's another reason. If the Congress goes through the budgeting process the way that they're proposing, where they are going to be at loggerheads between the Congress, House of Representatives and the Senate on the budget and not compromise, then we're going to have problems with maintaining that budget. And then we're coming up very, very soon, October 1st, on the need to, well, that's the budget, October 1st, but then very, very soon after that is the extension of the debt. And if they don't extend the debt capability of the government, then you put in the risk of potentially defaulting on the bonds. That's going to potentially raise interest rates significantly because of that risk. If that happens, that's going to reduce essentially the effect of what the Fed is trying to do. So all of those things, that uncertainty, in my mind, imply that they're going to try and stay the course at least for a couple of 3 months.
So purchases continue on their current path for how long?
I think the earliest they will start the taper would be in January.
So Bernanke is not going to have the taper on his watch.
Right.
So
he has the taper. You're right.
No taper on his watch. It will continue the bond purchase at $85 billion.
Right.
Yellen or someone, the successor, we think Yellen, comes on board in January. They're announced in late September, early October. They come on board in January, assuming confirmation. And will they do it their first meeting?
I don't know. I mean, it depends a lot on what happens with the budget and the debt extension. But then let's talk about why people like Summers and others have had some concerns about the buying of the Fed.
Well, probably not the first meeting or the first meeting. You think she's going to do it the first? If it's Janet Yellen, will she do it the first meeting or no? No?
I don't think
so that means it's April.
I think it's
March,
likely,
March,
spring,
April.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when the taper starts.
Right.
And when does the taper end?
Oh, they'll go out probably at least 9 months, I would think.
So probably end of 14, the taper's done. So that means no rate increase until 15.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
No. Okay, so in terms of rate increase, they're going to do the taper down first before they raise interest rates.
Oh, I see. Yeah, on the federal funds rate. Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right.
So no rate increase out of the Fed until 15. Okay.
I think that's likely.
Okay. So it is. So we start couching it now in probabilities. That's okay. So we don't want to make absolutes. So no rate increase out of the Fed until 15.
All right.
All right. So okay. So let's keep talking now about.
Well, I was just going to say that one of the things that people are concerned about all this buying that the Fed's done is that there's this worry about inflation, and people with a long memory have memories of times when
They're going to be old.
Some very high interest rates and some really bad times when the interest rates went very high. And so people are worried that when there's too much money out there and when there's the conditions are very loose for borrowing, that interest rates might start going up, and once they develop expectations of interest rates increasing, then it just builds on itself and you can get into a bad situation. But there is no evidence of that at all. In fact,
just reverse, actually.
Just the reverse. The Fed has not been able to get inflation up to the level that they would like to maintain.
They'd like to get it to 2%.
Right, and they can't. I mean, it's barely getting to 2%. A lot of people are saying it really should be 3%, and
to reinflate to get back to where we were.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So. There are a lot of things going on, and right now the big unknown is what the Congress is going to do about the budget and the debt extension, and that could get ugly.
Well, we're out of time. No rate increases until 15. Tapering starts late Q1, early Q2 of 14. This is FNC's Morning View. I'm Rayburn with Bob Dorsey. You all have a fantastic week.